What is a toad's favorite dance? The croaky pokey. Welcome to the stream. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to Battletoads. Welcome to the stream. Very happy to have you here tonight. Thank you for being with me, my friends. And let me welcome everybody in. It's a photo finish, but I have to say it looks like Sir Rack of Lamb is first in chat tonight. Followed closely by Loyal to Soil. Wonderful to have you both here, my friends. Loyal says, stoked to be here. Hope that I'm first in chat. I'm sorry to let you down. My finger feels about the same. Maybe a little better. You know what? Definitely a little better. My thumb, if you don't know, I cut my thumb. I had to cancel Monday night stream. I had nothing serious, but it was like an inch long, inch and a quarter long. It was really deep cut with a very sharp knife. I was just at the end of sharpening it, and I slipped and dropped the knife and didn't even realize I'd cut myself for a little while, but turns out I did, and it was very uncomfortable, and it made gaming not a good idea, I think, for at least a night. But we're getting better. We're getting better. Welcome in, Derek Ocean. Pleasure to have you here, Derek. Thank you for the wheel. We'll spin that in a moment. The wheel is a collection of randomly selected spicy items. Use the command wheel in the chat if you want to see what the items are and what the odds of landing on each are. Hanging out, had a horrible buffalo pot pie tonight. Loyal says, not recommended. Sarek of Lamb says, buffalo needs more fat for it to be any good. It's too lean for my liking. I don't know that I've ever had buffalo. Loyal agrees, though. I think the most exotic meat I've had is ostrich. Also very lean. That's really the only thing I remember about it. I thought it was very lean. Derek says, Game Boy games on the Switch Online service. I saw. I didn't actually watch the Direct. I saw they talked about Pikmin 4 and Tears of the Kingdom. I didn't watch either of those segments because no spoilers. But I saw that they were topics that came up, and I saw the Game Boy add to the Switch Online. That's a little bit interesting. I might need to look further into that. Gonna be fun times. I'm sleepy, so I may be lurking a lot. No worries, Loyal. We try to be good background music. We try to let people fall asleep if they need to. Agent Frownie may now be able to play all the handheld jank in HD. Sir Rack of Lamb, this is not a stream that people come to for HD. This is a stream where we kick it old school, and even the game capture looks as fuzzy as our memories. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that HD talk. Nothing like busting out a Game Boy Color and taking a picture of something feels good. Oh, with the Game Boy camera. I never had one of those. I've been tempted to get one. I thought it would be fun to do a stream where I put a Game Boy camera into my Super NES and use that for my face cam. Sarak of Lamb, you don't have one either yet. Been looking for one and the printer. It's not high on my list to get. I don't blame you, especially the printer, because it's got to be terribly inconvenient to actually get the resources to use the printer. I think it used a specialty paper where the image is kind of burnt in, right? So, like receipt paper. I think it worked kind of like receipt paper. So, finding like aftermarket Game Boy printer paper is probably a super annoying task. Hey, Jelly, welcome in. Thank you for the fiery emotes. I was gonna say the Lindy Hop. Oh, nice. Sir Rack of Lamb. I don't even know what that is. I've heard the phrase before. Well done. Well done. Jelly says you put your left toad in, you take your left toad out. You do the croaky pokey and you turn yourself around. You watch the direct after the fact? I always watch them after the fact, and I don't really watch them. I just scrub through. Because, again, if it's a game I already know I'm interested in, I don't want to see a trailer. I only watch the announcements and trailers for stuff that I don't know what it is, so that I can kind of learn about it. But if I know what it is, like Pikmin 4, I know I want Pikmin 4, right? All I need is the title and the release date, and I'm good. I don't want to see another image from it. I don't want to see a single pixel of the game until I play it. Same with Tears of the Kingdom. All I need, title, release date. I don't want to see a frame, a polygon, a pixel. Nothing from it. I know I want it already, so no spoilers. But that's like weird stuff that gets newly announced, you know, stuff that I don't know about. I gotta learn about it somehow, right? I gotta decide if I want it or not, so I might watch a little bit of a trailer or a teaser. I try to make my decisions pretty quickly, though. I missed the wheel. You didn't, Mile High Roll. I haven't spun it yet. It was redeemed, but I've been chin-wagging. I gotta catch up with the chat first. They do come for the jank, Sir Rack of Lamb says. I hope so. I hope so, because I've got that in heavy supply. That is part of this place's charm. The jank or the no spoilers? I'm too far behind. I'm gonna assume both. I would love to use a Game Boy camera for my stream, Loyal. I don't own one currently, though. Yeah, I made... you probably noticed last night, we've got a new no spoilers message. It's a little bit more blunt than our older ones, but I think that it's more readable because it's so short, and it's a little attention-grabbing with all those punctuation marks in it, so... It seemed like it worked well. It seemed like it worked well last night for Dark Souls. Because there were a couple new people that came in, and they seemed to fall in line with the rules of the place pretty quickly, and it could just be that those particular people, or it could have been the new message, so... I love the no spoilers alert, Loyal says. I mean, I try to make them like fun and cute, but to do that they have to be really wordy so no one reads them. So I'm trying to, you know, I went with a shorter one that's more readable. Very happy about the Game Boy stuff for Switch. I think that's good. I think the Game Boy stuff coming to the Switch is really good. Lindy Hop's a type of swing dance. I took swing classes about 12 years ago, Saraka Lamb says. Swing dancing was really, really hot when I was in high school. Like, people were really into it. Unfortunately, I have 2 left feet. It's chin wagging because you wag your chin when you talk. That is it, Mile High Roll. That's the expression. That's why I say it all the time. Yes, chin wagging just means sitting around talking. I picked that up from a friend. I think it was a friend from Australia. It might be an Aussie expression. I'd have to ask Sparrow or Tuesday or any of our many other Aussie viewers. I 100% come for the CRT. I would riot if there was HD, Loyal says. Nice. Yeah, you know, some people... I don't want to be nasty. But, you know, some people, they just... They don't get it. There's a lot of motivations for the people breaking the no spoilers rule. At best, you know, just assume they're overly enthusiastic about the game, and that overrides their impulse control. Scrabbletoads? What? Well, is something wrong? I thought there were glitches. Welcome in, Streaming Fist. You arrived just in time, and you as well, Buffalo Hopscotch. Chinwag is British, I believe. A lot of English/Australian slang overlap for obvious reasons. Hey. Now I know. I think the friend I picked it up from was from Australia, but he was actually Irish. I don't know if he grew up. He definitely had an Australian accent, so I think he grew up in Australia. But his father was Irish? I don't remember. He could have, but I was just thinking because maybe chin wagging is something he picked up from his father. You're Australian too. I don't think I knew that. We definitely do use it here. All right, fair enough. All right, we got to expand the camera for a moment. We've got to spin the wheel. The Wheel of Scorchin'. It's got a lot of new stuff on it. If you haven't seen what's there, you can use the command wheel. Basically, it's 5 spicy items. 6 spicy items. And I'm going to sample whatever it lands on. There's stuff we've had before, stuff I've never had. It's kind of a mix. Let's go. We got the green habanero sauce again. So I had this for the first time last night. It is not overwhelmingly spicy. First impressions were kind of slightly positive. I had a green jalapeno sauce on here before. The green habanero sauce has kind of taken its place. The green jalapeno sauce was Melinda's brand. Very good. 2 thumbs up. Melinda's brand hot sauce is wonderful. This is Marie Sharp green habanero sauce. First impressions, not quite as flavorful. I mean, it's sort of like it's definitely a habanero sauce. It's actually nopal green habanero sauce. I think it has a little bit of cactus in it. In fact, nopales, which I think are the cactus, right, is the first ingredient. Well, my impression of cactus is that it doesn't have... Is there a mini wheel on the wheel? You bet, Sir Rakalam. I was pointing that out the other night. I was kind of making a joke. That's not really a joke, because we've got the Bean Boozled Fiery 5 jelly beans. So if I land on that, I've got to spin the mini wheel to see which bean to eat. But I was kind of sad because the very first time that I redid the wheel, right, because this is its second form. We had its first form, then kind of a 1.5 where I changed one item out, but this time we totally redid it. But this is the most creative the wheel will ever be. To put a wheel on the wheel. I love it. I feel brilliant. I think it's a hilarious idea. It's actually mostly Jelly's idea. But it's never going to get better than this. It's never going to be more creative than a miniature wheel inside the wheel. I peaked early. I'm glad you enjoy it. Battletoads music is pretty good music to do this too. Battletoads music is appropriate for most occasions. All right, I'm gonna try and go, pretty generous like we usually do. Of a sample. It seems a little hotter tonight. Maybe I put extra on and did it extra thick. It's very, see, I don't know what cactus tastes like. So even though that's the first ingredient, I really get the habanero coming through real strong. It's very habanero forward. It tastes hotter tonight than it did last night. By a little bit. It's not unbearable. I kind of feel it in my ears. It's kind of like the heat has risen immediately up into my ears. The warmth, I don't really want to call it a burning because it's not that hot, but the warmth from the Marie Sharp sauce lingers a lot more than any of the Melinda's sauces. The Melinda's sauce, I would have it and be like a quick punch of heat, and then it's gone fairly quickly. The Marie Sharp builds gradually, but not as high. It doesn't go as hot. It builds gradually, it doesn't go as hot, but it lasts longer than the Melinda's. Just sort of generalizing across the flavors. I've only had one of the Marie Sharp. I don't know what the other bottles are like yet. It's good, though. I like this green sauce. It's refreshing, definitely. Again, I think that green sauce, I just have an instinct that green sauce, I don't know, instinct's the right word. I have an assumption. I have this sort of just strong feeling from my intuition that green sauces, so far as hot sauce is concerned, generally are going to go good with seafood. Because the last green sauce, the Melinda's green sauce, I really liked with shrimp. This, I think, would go really well with seafood. I would put this on shrimp, on tilapia. It's good stuff. I dripped a drop of it on my shirt, though. I should probably try and not be such a messy eater. Alright, sorry, let me catch up with the chat here. Game Boy on Switch, Scrabbletoads, Chinwag. Thank you for the spicy emote, Mile High Roll. Thank you for the bits, Mile High Roll. Thank you for the 100 bits. Very kind of you. Mini Wheel in the Wheel. Are those sauces just hot, or do they have some degree of flavor to them? So, it sort of depends. They, most of them that are on the wheel right now, I haven't tried before. There's a black truffle sauce, which I've tried. That tastes like a leather belt with some hot sauce spilled on it. It's very, very earthy, very musty. It has like a old, like, attic kind of quality to it. I'm not a big fan of the truffle sauce, but I left it on here. I left it on here so I could expose myself to it more and develop the taste for it. I want to see if I can learn to appreciate it. So when everything on the wheel got replaced except the truffle sauce. That's the only holdover this time, because I want to get used to it more. That habanero sauce, yeah, I don't really get the cactus, but I don't know what cactus tastes like either. It's got a refreshing quality to it, but the habanero really cuts through for me. It could be that they're just mixing in my mind, though, because if cactus has has any, like, if cactus flavor is to any degree fruity, then I'm kind of going to lose it in the habanero, right? Because it's a fruity pepper, so... The best thing I've ever seen. I'm glad you like I'm glad there's so much positive response to the wheel on the wheel. Hey, Congo, welcome in. I hope you're well, my friend. Thank you for being here. The Battletoads pause music is the best music in the game. And they wisely put it on the pause screen so you can hear it anytime you want. You should reuse the squeeze bottles from the last hot sauces and save yourself some overspill. I am going to reuse the bottles, Sir Rack of Lamb. The only trouble with that is if I put new sauces in the old bottles, like, I feel like people are going to want to see me opening the new bottles and you know, occasionally maybe sort of showing them off. And there creeps that layer of doubt if I'm reusing the old bottles of how sincere I'm being if I start to challenge myself with really agonizing kind of hot sauces. And so, I don't know. I feel like it's more straightforward and honest if I don't transfer them over. But for my personal use, 100% I'm saving those bottles. I'll sterilize them and I'll reuse them again and again and again. I hate that you're saying that about truffles. I'm sorry to hurt you, Mile High Roll. It's, I mean, you have to agree, it's very earthy. It's very, I don't have another word for the flavor. It's not quite bitter. It's somewhere between, like, savory and bitter. Well, earthy is good. I hedge on saying earthy because when I say something is earthy, I think of, like, beets that have a strong, like, almost like a dirt flavor. Right? When I say earthy, I kind of think of that, like, dirt flavor, and the truffle definitely doesn't have that. Not attic or leather. If I think of a positive comparison, I'll use it. Attic is the least appetizing thing I've ever heard, Conga says. Hey, Tidal, welcome in. We're just getting started. I haven't even started a run yet. I've just been running my mouth. Truffles are just a wonderful thing. I just need more exposure to them, Mile High Roll. They're new to my palate. I'm experiencing flavor shock. I've got to become more acclimated to them before I can really appreciate them. Or maybe I'll never like them. We'll see. Opens back passenger side door. Alright, so this is how you do everything, VR says. Kidding, of course. Welcome in, VR. Title VR. Thank you for joining us. Alright, here we go. Battletoads. This is a first playthrough. It's been a first playthrough for a very long time. I've been working on this for about 2.5 weeks. We've been making runs almost every night. I keep getting a little bit further every now and then, but I haven't made it to credits, and until I do, it's first playthrough all the way. But you will see that I'm getting pretty familiar and somewhat consistent with the earlier parts of the game. PB is stage 10. I've seen nothing beyond stage 10. I don't even know how many stages are left. I think only 1 or 2 based on the map. But like always, all my playthroughs are blind. Please don't feed me any information in advance. Or let me know about sort of tricks or mechanics or anything that I haven't figured out on my own. We want to capture the raw, natural experience, and we want to leave all the confusion and suffering intact. No. Oh, this is real bad. Losing a life on the first level. We might be in for a reset here pretty soon. I'll accept 1 life gone. I can't accept 2 though, so. Off to a real bad start. Real bad start. Letting that guy get the better of me. There's 9,001 levels. All right. Gonna be missing most of the rest of the stream. Friend turning 40 today. All right, happy birthday to your friend. Whoop. Let's put on some music for a moment. Got another work night afterwards. Heading to sleep after. Winding down with a Frownie stream. Hey, we try to be relaxing material, so by all means, if you know, lurkers always welcome. This is gonna be the run. Hopefully, I mean, if we, as long as we make it to stage 10, I'm pretty happy, because after the first time making it there, I've had a little bit of trouble getting back. So any run that makes it to stage 10, I'm happy. Making it past stage 10 will be phenomenal. Tears of the Kingdom is going to be $70. Hope it's worth it. I mean, Breath of the Wild was worth at least $70, so I know they didn't charge that, but the hearts are the lives, the squares are the health. It's very unusual. I recommend going to a place that sells truffle fries, Mile Hyrule says. I think that'd be a good way to get introduced to truffle. I'll see. I do know you talked about putting truffle oil on fries, like a very small amount, onto some French fries, and I'm willing to experiment with that too. If I make it past stage 10, I've only got, 8,090 to go. 8,990. Oh, gross. Taz on SNES. Oh, I hate that I have to play that again. I was talking about that with someone in Cat Collad's chat earlier today, and I can't really complain. It's my fault I brought it up, but I just don't even want to think about that game, you know? Having a hard time fighting this bird. Victory! I got the one up out of that bird. Did you see that? That was incredible. I juggled that bird for an hour. I'm so, like, you can get a one-up out of any of the birds. I lost my life, so there it goes. There goes the one-up I earned. You can juggle any of the birds. You can get a one-up out of any of them, theoretically. If you juggle them long enough. I'm just so bad at it that you rarely see it happen. Oh my goodness. I was so happy, and then it really didn't matter. An instant hit on this guy, like right as he spawned. That was cool. Oh, Jelly's on her way. Alright, I gotta pause again for just a moment. Let me receive my coffee delivery, my friends. Be right back with you. Bad games coming to the Game Boy service, like Mission Impossible on Game Boy Color. Probably don't have to worry about that one. They didn't give us Mission Impossible in 64, so we'll be all right. What was that one Game Boy Color game that basically had an expansion pack or rumble pack or something built into the cart? Pokemon Pinball has a rumble built into the cart. Want to say Perfect Dark on Game Boy Color? I don't know. I haven't played that. Perfect Dark for Game Boy, so that has a rumble pack as well. I know Pokemon Pinball does. Pokemon Pinball, I kind of want to play on the stream too. I've been thinking about it for a while. I saw Mazin was playing it on his stream on YouTube, and I was like, it gave me a lot of nostalgia. I was like, oh, I want to revisit this game, but I haven't picked it up yet. I mean, I still have my childhood copy. I don't mean I haven't picked it up as I haven't purchased it. I mean, I haven't picked it up to play it. I'm not alone. Mission Impossible is like the bully that beat me up and took my lunch money in middle school, and then Derek Ocean comes into the stream and he's like, that bully wasn't really such a bad guy. The other person that liked Mission Impossible was the person who liked the game. the other person who liked Mission Impossible was the person who made the game, Mile Hyrule says. There are things to like about Mission Impossible. There are parts of the game that are really good. There are also parts of the game that are unbearably bad. Mission Impossible is super mixed. Mission Impossible in the Game Boy Color, I actually forgot that I played that. When you mentioned that as a possibility for coming to the Game Boy Color, Derek, I was about to say that I hadn't played that one yet, but I have. I completely forgot that we did that one. It wasn't very fun. There's a GBA Mission Impossible? Oh, I didn't even know about that one. Oh, no, I'm gonna have to do that one someday, too. I know there's an NES one that I haven't done. I know there's one on the PlayStation, but I think it's basically just the N64 game with better audio and cutscenes. PlayStation 2 and Xbox as well? Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know that I need to play every Mission Impossible game. I enjoyed the NES one, VR says. That one was decent. I've heard that one was decent. I think, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but I think Narblast said that that one was good as well, so definitely heard that some people like the NES one. There's a Mission Impossible. Was there a Mission Impossible / Taz crossover game, Conga ass? There was. It was called Frownie's Nightmare. It's only for Virtual Boy. Mile Hyrule says the Xbox Mission Impossible was good. This moving platform here looks like food to me. It looks like some sort of like vanilla icing, or like, I kind of think it might be like a banana flavored, kind of like, it looks like someone dumped a vanilla or a banana pudding cup onto this platform, and it looks edible. Moving platforms in games frequently look edible to me, because I think stage 4B in Super Ghouls and Ghosts, there's a floating platform that makes me think of a piece of like a cherry cobbler. Oh. Melted cheese, Sirac of Lamb says. Custard, says Conga. Yeah, it looks sweet to me. It doesn't look savory to me. I think it's a sweet item. The collection command. You know what? I need to make some time to do another collection update stream, because I've got this big box of games over here. That's like everything I've purchased in the last 2 years. And none of it is in my none of it is in my online catalog yet. Someday, hopefully soon, maybe even this weekend, I'm going to show up randomly in the afternoon. I'll announce it in the Discord like a half an hour before I go live. It'll be surprise afternoon stream, collection inventory, and we'll just sit and take pictures of my games. Derek says played the Mission Impossible on PlayStation 2, Operation Suma. It's also the GBA one. Super high Nintendo guy, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a wonderful evening, and thank you for the follow. Very pleased to have you with us. Seeing that list, you got quite the collection there, Frownie. Thank you, VR. I have a decent physical collection. I mean, you know, there are people with you know, I'm definitely eclipsed by some larger, nicer collections out there. But I'm happy with what I have. I got into retro game collecting really early as just the thing for me. Like I started scooping up NES and SNES games in the late 90s, and they were dirt cheap, right? So I was able to build up a pretty good collection just by virtue of being interested in it when nobody else really cared. Because, you know, it's outrageous today. It's outrageous. I always say, you know, if my house burns down and I lose my entire collection, I'm going to buy a CRT, I'm going to buy a Super Nintendo, and I'm going to buy a copy of Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and I'm going to emulate 100% of everything else for the rest of my life. It's a little bit of an exaggeration, but not much. Not much. Collecting is kind of out of control. I can boost your inventory, Sir Rack of Lamb. I gotta say, if you got a lot of, if you got inventory you're looking to unload for deep discounts, I might be your guy. But I gotta let you know going in, if you're looking to maximize your profitability, I am far from your ideal customer. My best friend was the collector of the two of us. So since we were middle school, we pretty much just collected ours together. He has walls filled up with classic to modern titles. Nice. I love a good wall of physical games. I mean, I don't have anything against emulation. I try not to be like a snob about it or anything like that. I think it's a perfectly not only just fine and valid way to play games, but in a lot of ways necessary way to play games. But at the same time, I'm kind of a Luddite, and low-tech physical solutions are things that are very appealing to me. But you're not gonna hear me say anything against emulation, other than that I don't personally like the game feel that I've experienced when I've experimented with it. But depending on your type of game, and depending on whether or not you come with a lot of, like, baggage like I do, that kind of stuff, it's very subjective. Not necessarily important. This guy drives me crazy. Oh yeah, game preservation. Game preservation is incredibly laden with problems. So yeah, we need if you think video games and video game history are important, unfortunately, the people who develop and produce the games don't really care so much about preservation, so it's good that there are people out there finding sort of solutions to keep this stuff around and keep it alive. As the latest Nintendo Direct proves, Conga says, all they want to do is sell you the same old games over and over again. I mean, that's the kind of the phase we're in right now, right? It's sort of been like that for a while, where just the thing is HD and quote-unquote remastered versions of games, which is, just charge you full price again for a game you already bought. Day before I left to meet Dorian... Is that Dorian Z Drink? Ran over to my friend's place, take some pictures of our collection to compare. Favorite thing about emulation is just the convenience. I also have bad habits, bad hands due to arthritis. Sadly, a lot of the retro controllers really hurt me, so the ability to use whatever controller I like helps. Oh yeah. As much as, like... Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, as much as I like the old controllers, I'm really attached to their feel. They're not necessarily ergonomic or accessible in a lot of their designs, so yeah. Definitely, by all means, having greater comfort options are... having greater comfort options is really important. I'm gonna call Nintendo and demand a Mission Impossible, Derek says, and they'll say stop calling. And we'll keep buying it. Sometimes we will. If you're open to trade, I'll set you up and make sure I don't send you something you may already have. It's very generous of you, Sir Rack of Lamb. Maybe once we get a little bit more caught up, because I know you're still going through your, I know you're still setting up your room and going through your collection. Maybe once we get a little bit more, we both get a little bit more caught up on our collections, we'll compare duplicates and maybe see if, I'd be open to comparing duplicates and see if there's something we might want to swap. I know you far and away outnumber me, like game for game. Like you beat me like 10-1. so I don't really expect I'd have a lot to offer, but I'm open to the idea. Hey cows, welcome in. Welcome to the hardest part of the game. Can't stand this part. This is terrible. This is the worst part of this game. I know there's a few levels I've never seen, but I don't care. They can't be worse than this. This is just, everything about this is awful. It feels bad to control, it's random, it's poorly responsive. There's nothing good to say about this part of the game. Dorian is the best retro collection I've ever seen, Mile Hyrule says. VR says it's impressive. Ours is a little bigger game number-wise, but Dorian has a lot of collector's edition sets. A few guides I haven't seen in person before. Interesting. There's a Winnie the Pooh horror movie. This is the first I'm hearing of it. I don't know that I'll see it. We'll see. If I find it free on streaming someday, I might check it out one night. The whole thing, every game he shows is in like perfect condition. I wish it were 10-1, Sir Rack of Lamb says. Hey Greg, welcome in. It's like 20-1. Alright, Sir Rack of Lamb, you got me. Welcome in. Is this a dead Zergling? Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. How far have you gotten? I've made it to stage 10 a couple times. I've made it to, you gotta race this big mouse guy down the, big rat guy down the stage to some bombs. And there's a bull at the bottom. That's the furthest I've seen. That bull has a... I've challenged him once and he defeated me. I don't really know what else is going on in the game. Because it's my first playthrough and I'm doing it blind. So I only get to learn about things as I reach them. And as I figure them out on my own. So it's kind of slow going. I'm having fun. You depending on when you got here, you probably just heard me complaining a whole lot about level 5. I don't like level 5. But the game overall is really good. They're in fantastic condition. I was afraid to even vape in his collection room. Today was long and arduous, Cal says. Oh, I don't like to hear that, my friend. Hope Battletoads is going smoother for you. Battletoads is being Battletoads, Cows. I hope the worst, I hope hearing today is bad. I hope that means, that will mean that at least the worst of the troubles are behind you. $4,500 games, Sirac of Lamb says. I think I've got right around 1,000 physical games. Just over. And that's unique games. I mean, it might be duplicated where I've got the same game on 2 systems, but that doesn't count duplicated copies of, you know, like if I've got 2 Banjo-Kazooies on N64, only one gets counted. Hello, Mikey Theo, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Rat Race. Yeah, that level is rough. That level is rough. It's, I've been to stage 10 3 times. And I've only made it down to the bottom once. I think you have about 300 doubles. I've got a box of duplicates. I try not to. I used to hang on to duplicates a lot more. But in general, now if I have a duplicate in my collection, it's usually only 1 additional copy, and it's usually for games that I care a great deal about. Like, I've got 2 copies of Banjo-Kazooie, I've got 2 copies of Majora's Mask. I've got 2 copies of A Link to the Past. It used to be where I had, like, you know, like, at one point I had, I think, like, 4 copies of Ocarina of Time. Like, 5 of Star Fox 64, but I unloaded a lot of the extra duplicates, because they're not... I don't know. There's no sense in me keeping a whole bunch of backup copies in a box, right? Like, having 1 extra copy, I think, makes sense. But, I don't know. I want copies of the games to be out in the world and being played by people. I don't need to sit on a whole bunch of them. I used to have a lot of foreign copies of a lot of foreign duplicates of games too, because I lived overseas for so long and I brought a lot of that collection home with me. But I've since unloaded most of my sort of foreign language duplicates because I don't feel like they do me a whole lot of good. Not sure about that. Appreciate the sentiment. Things are in a state at work. It's looking like I'm gonna have to travel to put out fires next week. You certainly have a lot of experience with it, Cows. I gotta say, just by vicarious experience of all the fire putting out missions you've gone on. You would be the person I turn to if my life were ablaze. As far as I'm concerned, the only level worse than Rat Race is the version of the level found on the SNES Battletoads. I haven't played that one, so I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about yet. But perhaps one day I will be wiser and I will concur. Well, thank you, Cal says. I'm like that with movies, Mile Hyrule says. I have 20 copies of Evil Dead. All different versions, though. Sometimes with movies, you need multiple copies of a movie in your collection if it's something you really like, just because the special features are frequently not carried over. You could have a movie on VHS and DVD and Blu-ray, and it'd have a completely unique set of features. And I know VHS don't have features in the same way that DVDs do, but sometimes they do have, like... Sometimes the VHS does come with, like, a particular set of trailers or an interview or something like that included somewhere on the tape, so... I wasn't including that arbitrarily. There are sometimes unique features to a VHS release. But a lot of times, it seems that Blu-ray editions don't have the features that a DVD edition has. And that's always very bizarre to me. Some sort of rights issue, I'm sure. A lot of them are just different covers. I think I actually have over 30 copies. I don't have double-digit copies of any film. For sure. Even, you know, the greatest film of all time, Super Mario Brothers, the movie, 1993. I think I've only got 3 copies. Are there any games in your collection that you're super attached to, aside from Ghosts and Goblins? Super attached to. I mean, I'm attached to a lot of my collection. You know, like the Castlevania games, the Mega Man games. A lot of them are going to be like Usual Suspects type stuff. Anything that I had growing up. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Even Ultraman. And my copy of Ultraman is not my childhood copy of Ultraman. Terrible game. Ultraman Toward the Future. Horribly bogus game. And you know how many hours I put into it? Hundreds. Hundreds. So I'm attached to that. You know, so a lot of my childhood games. And then just stuff that I've grown to love. Contra. I'd never want to lose a Contra game from my collection. My copy of Battletoads here, you know, like I'm kind of growing to love this game, and it has the bonus of it being the most spectacular condition cartridge in my collection. So I'd really hate to lose it. It'd be very hard. It would be very hard to replace, to find another copy of Battletoads in this same condition. I honestly don't think there's one out there. I'm being a little cruel. I'm being a little cruel. If you don't know, my NES copy of Battletoads, the sticker is about 95% removed, and the word Battletoads is messily scribbled on in red Sharpie. Alright, I need to... I have no lives left. Until I started playing it, until I actually started playing this on the stream. That's an early continue loss. That's bad. Until I started playing this on the stream, I wasn't even sure that it was a copy of Battletoads. I was just kind of taking the word of whoever wrote it on the cartridge. I was really into horror movie collecting for a while, Mile High Roll says. Right on. Believe me, I'm not criticizing the way you spend your money. I'm just making comparisons. If you love a thing, by all means, if it's within your means and that's how you want to spend your dough, collect away. Interesting. I have a fondness for Ghosts and Goblins too, but didn't pick it up until I was much older. This was my first blind run I did. Right on. Yeah, so we're actually referring to Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo. That's my favorite video game, is Super Ghouls and Ghosts. #1 all-time favorite video game. Had it since I was a kid. I actually never truly beat it until I was an adult. Although I played it tons. The thing is, I could never figure out how to beat Super Ghouls and Ghosts because, like, I understood that you need to do 2 loops and that you need the bracelet, but I never understood how to acquire the bracelet, and I never figured it out. Because when the instruction manual talks about it, it talks about it as if it is a unique item specifically hidden at one location in the game world. And that is not the case. So, like, I remember being a kid and doing loop upon loop of that game and trying to figure out where the bracelet was and to find it. And I just could never make it happen. And then eventually, I don't know. It was somehow explained to me or spoiled for me after I was an adult how you find the bracelet. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then I went and conquered the game. Legitimately. After years and years. Ghosts and Goblins, though, I do really like. NES Ghosts and Goblins. Very fond of that game as well, of course. But it's not, it's no Super Ghouls and Ghosts. And that's one I played. I didn't own that game. I didn't own Ghosts and Goblins as a kid. My cousin had it, and I would play it with him sometimes. I don't think we ever made it, like, we might have made it to stage 3 at the very best, but we probably never really even made it out of stage 2. Those are the first games I played on stream. They weren't blind playthroughs. I was very familiar with them by that point, but the very first 2 streams were Ghosts and Goblins and Super Ghouls and Ghosts. But I'm like that with Contra. I really love Contra, and I never played it until August before last was my very first time, and just immediately fell in love with it. And I've been kind of slowly working my way through all the other games in the series. I am doing so bad. I'm doing so bad at this rocket part. I've never died here so many times. This is uniquely terrible for this one particular part. I don't think I'm gonna make it through here tonight. I wanted to see stage 10 again. I don't think I'm gonna see stage 8. I've forgotten how to fly. It's gotta be the last set of that. Yeah, good. Hey, I think I got a 1-up when I got a 1-up. That's nice. Oh, I hesitated. Oh, thank goodness. This part here usually gives me trouble for some reason. I tend to lose a lot of lives. Like, the missile part is tough, but historically, I have not lost a lot of lives there on most runs. This part right here, even though it's easy, I tend to blunder it. I almost blundered it right there. I did the wrong thing, but I recovered it. Very rare. You've done Genesis, SNES, and NES Ghosts and Goblins. Just the NES was your first one. Right on. The Inferno heard me talking about the surfboard level and got jealous. It did. Did it ever? It certainly did. The Battletoads cartridge, I've shown it off a few times, Mile High Rule. I'll grab it and show it off again between runs. We've seen the cart once, I think. I claimed it was haunted, Sir Rack of Lamb says. Yeah, I've shown it off a couple times, but I'll share it again. Sir Rack of Lamb says, I'm looking for DuckTales 2, Bubble Bobble 2, and Jetsons. My top 3. Other than that, I'm looking for anything I don't have. Yeah, I don't really have a, most wanted list. Sir Rack of Lamb. Anything that's in my collection, if I don't have a duplicate of it, I'm not looking to jettison anything from my collection. Anything I've got only one of, yeah, I'm pretty much is pretty much a permanent fixture. I'm really only interested in unloading duplicates. DuckTales 2, I'm lucky enough to have that one. Bubble Bobble and Jetsons. However, I do not. Final level Super Ghouls and Ghosts second loop is super garbage. Awesome game up until that level. They went way too far for the difficulty there compared to the rest of the game. I love that you say that. I love that you say that because that's how I talk about that game all the time. The final boss of Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which, I mean, if you know what's up, you know the final boss isn't the final boss. He's the victory lap. You know what the final boss is. It's 2 of them with the goddess bracelet. That battle is one of the hardest battles in all of video games. It is so brutal. The rest of the game is just tutorial for that battle. That's why I'm always ready to rant about that. Because so many people, they play one loop and then they use a password to go to the quote-unquote last boss. And then they're like, yeah, I beat the game. It wasn't that hard. And it's like, if you haven't done 2 loops, and if you haven't beat it with the goddess bracelet, you don't even know the game. You haven't even played the game. It's all hidden there in one battle at the end. It is the worst. I love it, though. Cow says, so that's where the love of suffering through games comes from. Suffering through games is kind of weird. Like, it's a thing that gradually grew on me, because I really didn't like hard games as a kid. Like, I didn't like... When I first played Mega Man... When I played the Mega Man games as a kid, I didn't like Mega Man games because they were too hard for me. I never got into those as a kid. I rented several of them on the NES, and I just thought, I don't like this. Mega Man is bad. I love Mega Man now, but I didn't like it as a kid at all. And, yeah, really hard games, like, really Mario, which Mario games get a little tough sometimes in places. The older ones, there's a few challenges there. But, for the most part, you know, they're not like break your thumbs brutal, right? So that was generally the level of difficulty I liked with games up until, like, I don't know, 8 years ago, I started to change. I finally started to beat some hard games. That's when I finally got around to, like, dusting off and beating Super Ghouls and Ghosts. It's maybe more than that. Maybe more like 10 years ago. But I beat that one, then I beat Ghosts and Goblins, I beat Castlevania, and the sort of the love of the hard games started to grow there. And then Kirby's Dream Land 2 turned me into a crazy person. Kirby's Dream Land 2 rearranged my DNA, and now I'm maximal suffering every time I play a game. Hey Doe, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Battletoads, yeah, we're doing a lot of Battletoads. Kind of doing it every night until I beat it. We might skip Battletoads on Friday this week. I don't think I have it on the schedule for Friday, but you know, until I beat the game, it's more likely than not you're going to see it here on any given night. I'm having a good time with it, you know. It's a slow journey, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah, that green guy. Oh, they're both bad though. The green guy and the red guy, both of them terrible, terrible. I used to say that about people who'd skip most of the levels in early Mario games and then brag about beating the game. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, especially, like, Mario 1. The hardest level in Mario 1 is stage 6-3. If you use the warps, then you may beat Mario 1. You may make it to credits, but you didn't really beat the game, because the hardest challenge is still sitting there waiting for you. Where does Castlevania fit into this tale of self-inflicted suffering? Castlevania Adventure. So that I just played it on the stream. Hey, Doe, thank you for the gift subs, my friend. Very, very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes, very, very generous, my friend. Dead Zergling. Take a key for coming in, and you too, Greg. Take a key for coming in, Greg's Retro Channel. Green Guy's range and the abysmal range on the Goddess Bracelet just makes it so much worse. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I find the laser from the red guy to be difficult to deal with. More so than his fire. The green guy's fire is ridiculous, though. He boxes you out completely. And yeah, With the god, that's the thing about the goddess bracelet. You can only attack by doing a double jump, and when you're up in the air like that, you're super vulnerable. So it's just, oh man. Oh, it's so painful. Castlevania the Adventure, I just played semi-randomly just because it was a Castlevania game. And just because Mazin happened to show up in the stream and start to whisper tales of glory into my ear, that's the only reason I started speedrunning it. Mazin just happened to show up by chance and sing his siren song to lure me into speedrunning. I like Castlevania the Adventure though. I think it's underrated. It still ranks relatively low on like my Castlevania like favorites like tier list. I would still put it below NES, N64, Bloodlines, even Order of Ecclesia I would probably put before it. Oh yeah, yeah. The bracelet's power and range being tied to your armor, brutal. That's why, oh man, when you beat the game, you gotta try and keep that armor. You did so well speedrunning that game on the stream. Thank you, Greg. I did alright, you know, we made it, I think I made it to 4th place is where I peaked. On the leaderboard. It's not a very crowded leaderboard. Before anyone starts to think that is like the achievement, it's not like there's 4,000 runs on the leaderboard and I was 4th place. It's like there were 9. So I was the definition of average at speedrunning Castlevania the Adventure. I had the medium speed, I had the median score. But I had fun. I love the chill stream of Frownie. Thank you, Doe. Thank you, my friend. That's I love to hear it. That's you know what I try to cultivate. I want people to relax. Just hearing you rant about Super Ghouls and Ghosts makes me want to rant about it. I love it. I love it. It's my favorite game. It's beautiful. I've never done a speed run. I've never done a speed run of Super Ghouls and Ghosts, but I have done a challenge run. I've actually beaten the game deathless twice. You know, full 2-loop run, professional difficulty. No deaths. It was a grind. It took a while. It took quite a while to pull it off. The first time. The second time, I was on a grind for a couple months, and I finally got the deathless run, and I didn't play the game for a whole month. And the very next time I picked it up, I immediately got a second deathless run. It was amazing. Hey, Angelus, welcome in. Pleasure to have you, my friend. Thank you for the raid, and welcome to your friends. What were you playing tonight? Tell us what you're up to, and how did it go? You talked about... I was trying to remember what you said you were going to be playing, but you talked about a lot of different things, and... So I can't say for sure. You were talking about starting up Genesis games, but I think that's next week. So tell us what you're doing and how your stream went, my friend. Oh, it was. It was a grind to get the Deathless run. It really was. Only Deathless I can claim is Ninja Gaiden 1. Hey, that is quite the run. I want to do that one. I would love to do Ninja Gaiden 1 Deathless. I'm not ready for it though. That's gonna take me a whole lot of practice. I'm nowhere close. I was working on it for a while, kind of off and on. I got to where I could beat the game. Not Deathless, not 1cc. Just beat the game. I got to where I could beat it in about an hour. And so that puts it into, like, territory for, like, grinding for me. Like, I figure any game I can get through in about an hour, then grinding attempts at challenge runs for it are feasible. But, yeah, I'm nowhere near Ninja Gaiden 1. That game's out of this world. Angela says, playing a much better game than me. I was playing Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends for the NES. Oh, I don't remember you bringing that one up. It's garbage. Don't think the people that made it beta tested the game. I don't have that game on the NES. I have it on the I have the Rocky and Bullwinkle on the Game Boy. I don't know how similar they are. I might have rented the NES one as a kid. I don't really remember. Rocky and Bullwinkle is a cartoon, like, it would come on sometimes in the morning when I was a kid, and I never understood it. I never got Rocky and Bullwinkle. I was just like, this is the weirdest cartoon. Like, when is anything interesting gonna happen? Your mileage may vary, I guess. Maybe if you knew what was going on in the world or something, maybe Rocky and Bullwinkle made sense to you when you were a kid. It did not make sense to me. I thought, this is the dullest cartoon. I loved that show as a kid, Cal says. I am sorry, I can't. I'm not there with you. I used to be able to Deathless early Zelda, NES, and SNES games, Greg says. That's about it for me for Deathless challenges. Those are pretty tough. Those are pretty tough for one, but also they're long games is the issue there. Like, so you have to be, like, ready for an endurance run to get through them Deathless. You've got a lot of, you've got some safety nets with, like, healing items and fairies that you can take advantage of at pretty much any time, but that still doesn't make the game, super easy. Thank you for the follow, Zergling. If I may call you Zergling, welcome. Welcome to our fine collection of followers. Happy to have you here. DZ, dead, Zerglings, any are fine? Right on. I was a kid in the late 70s, so yeah, I liked Rocky and Bullwinkle and Underdog, Greg says. I feel like, here's the weird thing, I feel like I probably liked Underdog more than Rocky and Bullwinkle, but I feel like I probably liked it better as a kid, but I remember it less vividly. So, that statement may have no real weight behind it. I can't say I recommend Upside Down Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins. It literally made my brain hurt. I've never tried an Upside Down challenge, except Mario Kart? In college, when we were in college, Jelly and I would play Mario Kart, and we would sometimes hang upside down on our on the couch in front of the TV and play it upside down for an additional challenge. That's about the extent of my upside down gameplay. I love Buck Rogers. Doe says, Buck Rogers I haven't gotten into. My sister, though, she loves Buck Rogers. She really likes that bird guy. His name might be something like Hawk. What do you mean you play upside down all the time? All right, well. This is about as upside down as I get nowadays. I don't necessarily think this qualifies cows, but to avoid destroying the illusion, I won't explain why. So far as like challenge runs of games, though, I usually just go for like kind of platformer games and try to do deathless clears. That's the challenge that interests me most. We've done so Contra. I've done deathless 3 times. We did it just sort of any percent. I also did no items deathless and 100% items deathless. I've done the same for Super C, and ideally I'd like to do it for all the retro Contra games, but I don't know. So far I've only done those 2. I have done Operation C, any percent deathless. We did Super Ghouls and Ghosts deathless. I did Alien 3 on the Genesis deathless. And we've done Castlevania. I've done any percent deathless, whip only deathless, and I've done any percent damageless in Castlevania on the NES. Those are the challenge runs I've done. So it's not a huge list, but I'm trying to slowly add to it. When I find a game I really like, that it's fun to grind attempts, then we'll make it happen. We're generally, you know, a few challenge runs a year, I think, is not bad. Upside down wheel. Thank you for the wheel, Sir Rack of Lamb. I'll give that a spin. Give me just a moment. Hey, all right. Hey, we've got another raid coming in. Welcome in, Rush Pirate. Ahoy! Welcome to your friends, the Analog Man. I love the name. I'm very much in favor of analog signal. Angela said, the reason I say the Bullwinkle game wasn't beta tested is I picked up a key and went to use it, and the door and the lock was still there, signifying I hadn't picked up the key and I couldn't go back to the previous screen to re-pick it up. Agony. Rush Pirate, tell us about your stream. What were you getting up to tonight? How did it go for you? I'm just kind of catching up with the chat here. We're talking about sort of vintage television shows and challenge runs of platformer games. Second season of Buck Rogers was only a half season. One thing I plan to program someday is a program that captures a window and slowly rotates it randomly. I'm reluctant to start because of how awful playing a game that way sounds, Zergling says. My goodness. I haven't done any challenges that sort of mess with the visibility of the screen, or like a lot of people like to do like weird controller challenges. You know, like I beat Dark Souls using the DK bongos. But I haven't done anything like those. I might not be good enough for those kinds of runs. Rubber duckies are evil in this game. That is a sentence I never thought I would say, Angela says. Alright. Finally, I'm caught up here. Rushfire is playing... You're playing Rocket Robot on Wheels. That's the N64 game, right? I haven't tried that one. Is it any good? Just played an obscure N64 game. And you finished the first quest in Zelda. GG. Well done, Rush Pirate. Hey, Mighty Collector. Thank you for coming along. Pleasure to have you here. Analog Man, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciate you coming on board. Very, very kind of you. Thank you for that. Boat Ladder, welcome in. Pleasure to have you here. It's a simple little 3D platformer, Rocket. Right on. Made a friend of mine do 2 or 3 visual challenges. One was a horizontal flip of Mega Man 3 with the controls messed up. Another was playing Tetris. He had to tape a Tetris block to sunglasses he was wearing every 2 minutes. Oh my goodness. I really like the sound of the Tetris one. Doe, thank you for another gift sub. Thank you for all the support, my friend. Very good to me, thank you. And Rush Pirate, take a key for coming in. Alright, so we've got to sample some hot sauce or something spicy. We've got to sample a spicy food. That has just been redeemed. I still got to be upside down for a little while, so we're going to do it upside down. I've got 6 items on this wheel. I'm going to spin it and sample whatever it lands on. If you want more details, you can use the command wheel in the chat. It'll give you an idea of what's on there and what the odds of hitting each item are. Last thing we tried was a green habanero sauce. Let's see what's next. That was a weak spin. But we got a new item. So this is, purple is H-Hob. That stands for hot habanero. That's the green one? Nope, the green one is the mild one. Not the green sauce, the green label, sorry. So this is a new sauce. I've got to open it up. It's a Marie Sharp's habanero pepper sauce. It proclaims itself to be of the hot variety. I expect, though, it's probably not going to be much hotter than the green sauce that we had earlier, because that one also proclaims itself to be hot. So I think they're supposed to be roughly equal to each other. But we'll try it out. Give it a shake, and I've always have to the no fun cap that they put in here to keep you from enjoying a decent amount. I've always got to find a pin or something to pry that off with. Well, it just kind of shot across the room. Anyone else worried about the bottle leaking since the camera is flipped? I'll do my best to pour it carefully. The original Zelda is the game I've replayed more than any game, Greg says. I've only played through it one time. I'd like to do it again. It wouldn't really be a blind playthrough because I have played it before, but it'd be like one. because I don't remember it. I think I'm coming down with something. My throat has been bothering me since late last night. I hope not. I hate being sick, Angela says. I hope you're not sick, my friend. And if you do turn out to be, I wish you a speedy recovery. For what it's worth, I'm going to grab one of my fresh jalapenos, Stowe says. Right on. I appreciate the this hot sauce, spicy food empathy. For what it's worth, Angelus, like my throat gets worn out sometimes from all the streaming, and I always go for hot tea with honey and lemon. It does me a world of good. So if it's just fatigue, that works for me. Your mileage may vary. Mighty Collector, thank you for the follow. I very much appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're going to go with a very generous sampling here. I'm going to put on, a whole lot. And see what it does to me. All right. Well, I feel it in my sinuses right away. This is hotter than the green sauce, I think. It's, boy, what does it taste like? It's so familiar. This habanero sauce. I'm not going to be able to think of it. Oh, yeah, I am. I know what it reminds me of. I was going to tell you... I was going to tell you what this sauce reminds me of. And I couldn't think of it. And what it reminds me of is a habanero salsa. It's like if I were sampling a Cheez-It for the first time and I was like, you know what this reminds me of something, I can't think of it. Oh wait, I know, you know what it is? It reminds me of a cheese nip. They're the same product. All right, it is by no means intolerable, but boy, it has a heat. It has again, it has sort of a lingering heat. It's hanging out with me a moment. It's good though. It's very good. Weird thing for this hot habanero sauce, though, just like the green sauce, first ingredient on the green sauce was cactus. First ingredient is carrots on this sauce. Carrots, select red habanero peppers, vinegar, onion, salt, lime juice, and garlic. It's really good. Don't taste carrot. Again, taste very habanero forward. It's a lot like the green sauce. It's just a little warmer. And the heat is hanging out. The heat is hanging out on my tongue. I think we're okay though. I think I'm far past the worst of everything. Hello, Counter-Strike Boy. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a great Wednesday. I'm so tired. I see you upside down. Hey, welcome in, Jiggle Moss. Pleasure to have you join us again. I'm letting my tongue stop smoldering for a moment, and then we're going to jump back into the game. Greg says, just played the original Zelda again a few days ago on the 3DS Virtual Console. Right on. I have no idea what that is you're listening to, Counter-Strike Boy. See ya, see ya. Whose attic does it taste like? Alright, I can get my big head out of the way. I like these habanero sauces a lot better than that truffle sauce. No attics here. They're very fruity, they're very hot, they're very, like, straightforward in their pepper flavor. They say they have other flavors. In fact, this here, this so Marie Sharp's habanero pepper sauce, hot variety. It has, oh, never mind. I was gonna say it has a picture of garlic on the label, but I thought it didn't have garlic in the ingredients. It does say garlic, but I don't get any taste of garlic. The lime might come through a little bit, but it's really just kind of, it's pretty straightforward pepper sauce. It's good. It's good. The whole enjoyment of spiciness is basically your body having a severe allergic reaction to capsaicin. So not a bad thing. What? Oh, that was in response to Greg. I've said before in other streams, never been a fan of spicy foods or sauces myself. They're not for everybody. It appeals, spicy foods appeal to a lot of us because they're like a very safe, like, version of risk-taking, right? It's like riding a roller coaster. It's like, there's a little bit of pain, perhaps, but you're never in real danger. Garlic has to be really heavy in a sauce for you to notice it. I use garlic really heavily in my cooking. Like, I watch, I'll watch someone, like, make a stir-fry or something on YouTube, and they're like, yeah, you need 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, and I'm like, when I make a stir-fry, I start with a whole bulb of garlic. I have a little bit of stir fry on the side of my garlic. Not knocking either side. Love spicy food myself, Zergling says. Favorite flavor I've found so far is ghost pepper. How about yourself? I really like ghost peppers. I think I tend to like a ghost pepper. I like a ghost pepper sauce better than a Carolina Reaper sauce, like, for its flavor, but in general, habaneros are my go-to. Because ghost peppers, habaneros I can get fresh, and ghost peppers I can almost never get fresh. So, I love a ghost pepper sauce, but, like, so far as, like, peppers, I'm kind of stuck with habanero being my go-to. And, don't get me wrong, I like a habanero. It's very fruity. But I like the extra heat and the flavor of a ghost pepper. Use ghost pepper powder. Yeah, that's what I would have to do. I use a lot of times I'll use Dave's brand has a ghost pepper sauce. I don't really know how much it tastes like ghost pepper, really, but it's got a heat level to it that is out of this world. It depends on if you had to sign a waiver for your hot sauce or not. Hey, Sarconius, welcome in. Pleasure to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I've been struggling with Battletoads tonight. This is still run number 1. We've been in a habit of doing 2 attempts at Battletoads per night. This is run number 1, but I lost some continues early, so while I'm happy to be back here on this stage, I'm also sad about the early continue loss. This is my PB for anyone who hasn't been here. This is an ongoing first playthrough. I've been trying Battletoads several times a night, I've been trying Battletoads a couple times a night for several nights, rather. And I've never beaten it, so until I see the credits, we call it the first playthrough. I'm getting real familiar with the parts that I've seen. Yuck. You have to run this third race flawlessly, or there's just no point, and, well, I didn't run it flawlessly. No! I'm stuck! No, I got stuck! What happened? I was stuck in the wall! My toad wouldn't move. Yeah, sometimes Battletoads is like that. It is a... I'm always at the mercy of the game. Gotta get up and stretch, Greg says. Highly encouraged. Yeah, Rat Race is still my PB. I made it down to the boss. I saw the boss as like a big orange bull. Don't really know how to fight him yet, but that's you know, that's my PB right now, is making it to the bull. Enough garlic to keep the vampires away. Exactly, Greg. That's why I do so well at Castlevania games. I'm very odd about which foods I like, Spicy Cow says. I do like hot sauce on things. Or do I like hot sauce on things? Not really. Do I love cherry chili tea? Yep. Is it just that you like a little spice in your drinks, Cows? Because I think you said you like spicy chocolate too, right? So do you like spicy hot chocolate? Facecam must now return to normal. We are past the time limit there. I cheat on the ghost pepper. Okay, we saw that. The pepper powder. Ghost pepper powder, not a bad idea. I should probably... Because I put cayenne powder in everything I cook. Dave's is my old go-to, Doe says. I do prefer spice to be in drinks or soups. Something about making toasty liquid more toasty is appealing to me. Basically everything I cook. Well, most of the stuff that I cook starts with onion, garlic, and habanero pepper. Those are the ingredients I always build on top of for a soup or a stir fry or a fajita or a chili or marinara sauce. If you just get hung up on the side of one ledge, like, that's enough to ruin everything for you. I know I keep saying it, but it keeps being true. There have been a couple times, so like, I've been in this weird thing here where you might be addicted there, Frownie. I could be. So there've been a few times where I've made it down there, like, because usually I make it down there so late, I don't have time to kick the bomb, and even though I technically win, I still lose. But there's also been a few times where I've made it down there so fast that the electric door is still active, and I don't make it down there because I get zapped and die. So there is like a window that you need to meet. If you're too fast, you might burn yourself. Also, punching this guy is exceedingly dangerous because when you punch him, you can either set him so that he has to backtrack, and then like you get a little time advantage on him, or you can punch him so that you accidentally knock him ahead further, and you just sabotage yourself. And I'm not good enough to ever really know which one I'm gonna do. If you punch him just right, he gets confused and has to repeat a level. And if you punch him just wrong, he falls down the hole smoothly and gets way ahead of you while you get slowed down. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, this race. The last one. It's not really that bad until the last one. Hey, Master Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you, my friend. I like to attack him when I can, but it ends up coming back to bite me a lot. Tend to forget about these bowling balls a lot, and I'll try and stand around talking or not paying attention and then get hit by them. How goes things? Pretty well. I've got nothing to complain about tonight. Had delicious sausage, kale, and potato soup for dinner. We've had a couple of rather pleasant spins of the wheel, and Battletoads is actually not going really well, but we're having fun. All practice is progress, as they say. There he goes. Good to hear dinner was good. Thank you for holding back, Zergling. We're real picky about that with this stream. It's a let Frownie figure everything out for himself kind of situation, and it's usually very painful. I appreciate your restraint. Thank you. I will say, there are times where I do eventually break down and ask the chat for help. It's very unlikely to ever happen in this game, I think, because of how far I've made it and how much pride I have wrapped up in wanting to do it on my own. But there have been times where, you know, I've been stuck on a level for like 3 hours, and I'll finally suspend the no backseating policy for one hint. I needed a hint. I needed a hint in Star Tropics. I needed a hint in Castlevania 2. I needed a hint in Metroid Dread. I asked for a hint in Echo. I don't know how much it helped me. I asked for a couple hints in Echo. But yeah, generally I've got to be stuck in the same place for about 3 hours before I break down. And we've played several hundred games on stream, and that I can remember almost every hint that I've ever asked for. should kind of give an indication. It only happens a couple times per year. I'm really stubborn. All right, you're my kind of person there, Zergling. I won't even tell you the names of the Battletoads. You got it. I know it's off-putting to some people how sort of strict I am on my blind policy, but I just on the other hand, I feel like we capture something unique by doing it this way, in that, you know, it stifles audience participation a little bit, but it captures something kind of raw and natural that I really like. We can still do it. We can still do it. We can still do it. We can't do it. We did it. I've only got one life to fight the boss, though, and I don't know how to fight him. Well, we got a few hits in. I'm totally with you on the blind playthrough, Sarconius says. Thank you, Sarconius. Something raw and natural. You mean suffering, cow's ass? That electric floor has gotten me a few times, and I don't feel good about it. Yeah, we sort of talked about it a few times, because unfortunately, I've had people come through. Don't get me wrong, the overwhelming majority of people are really cool with the way we do things. You know, everyone, a lot of people, some people slip up sometimes. That happens. That's no big deal. People tend to get it and sort of fall in line with the project really quickly. And it's great. But we do, every now and then, we get one person that's just really not cool. So it is something we think about sometimes, and it's like, I want to be charitable and just say, some people, they like a game so much, they're very enthusiastic, and it sort of overrides their impulse control, and they can't help but blurt things out. And not that I want that kind of behavior, but I can be patient and give those people an opportunity to learn if I have to. But I mean, there definitely is a degree of like, some people they don't play games by figuring them out on their own, or they can't do it. They assume other people can't do it. Or maybe, they just want to show off. But I try to assume the best of people until they kind of force me to assume otherwise. I really need to learn to do better. It is very satisfying when you successfully hit a long stretch where you fall through without grazing anything. Not that it happens often for me, but it is very satisfying when it does. For some people, beating a game quickly is accomplishing something. They want to beat as many games as quickly as possible. I don't find that enjoyable at all myself. Enjoy the game you're playing. Don't worry about beating it super fast. Yeah. And that's kind of the thing. Like, I like beating a lot of games. Don't get me wrong. Like, I keep a list of the games that I knock out on the stream, and it's kind of sad when I have a month that only has 4 entries as compared to one that has 16. But I'm okay with the process of learning a game and slowly getting better at it. Like, we talked about limited continues and stuff like that a lot, and some people they get through a challenge one time and then they never want to do it again. And so, things like limited continues and stuff like that can be kind of upsetting. They don't like the punishment of being sent back and stuff like that. And believe me, I get frustrated by it too sometimes. But on the other hand, when a game is limited like that and it forces you to play it a whole bunch, there's a process that happens where you slowly get better and better at the first part of the game, and then you unlock. And as you're getting better, you get kind of rewarded by unlocking, newer parts of the game each time, and just little bits and pieces. And that delayed gratification and improvement process, and the slow uncovering of a game, all of those are things that really appeal to me. So it's not always the most fun experience to live through 100% of the time, but it is overall extremely rewarding. I also really like the experience of having my mind blown by playing a game for a very long time before I discover that one of my fundamental assumptions about the game has been wrong. We played this Scooby-Doo game on the Game Boy Advance, and I think it was an 11-hour playthrough, something like that. And I spent 9 of those 11 hours bemoaning repeatedly, crying again and again about how slow the characters moved, and how tedious it was, and how aggravating it was that I had to slowly walk back and forth from room to room over and over again. I had a run button the whole time. I spent 9 hours. I spent 9 hours playing the game, and complaining about how slow I moved. And I had a run button the whole time. And when I discovered that, I love those moments. I played 2/3 of the way through Castlevania 64 before I realized that my character had a charge attack, like Mega Man. I really like those kind of moments where it's like, I can't believe how far I've gotten doing everything completely wrong. Let's see. Greg says, I agree with Zergling. In Conga's note, it talks about a jumping spoiler in Smurfs. How long ago was that? That was a few months ago. I don't remember exactly how it works. It's Smurfs on the Atari 2600. Something about the jumping, it works differently, I think, depending on how long you hold the button. Conga kind of blurted out the answer while I was thinking out loud and trying to figure it out, because there's something weird about the jumping. And while I was working on it, yeah, he gotta let the answer slip. That was one of those enthusiasm getting the better of someone kind of moments. Now he lives in infamy. In the stream's commands. The stream is really choppy tonight. I'm sorry about that, Tuesday. It was happening last night too. I don't know what's up with it. It got so bad the stream actually crashed a couple times last night. But so there may be problems, but I don't think they're anything within my ability to solve. I definitely appreciate you letting me know, but I got to tell you, I don't think I can make your experience any better. For me, it depends on the game. Some games I just want over with. VR says ASAP, don't care anymore. Others like to take my time with. Yeah. You could just quit playing. This is true. By no means do I think everyone should play games the way I do. Where you do it super stubborn like I do. There definitely comes a point where looking at the manuals, looking at a walkthrough, or asking a friend, or it's not unreasonable to do those things. I do think, personally that speaking in it with a broad brush, that I see more often than not, I see people that I think resort to those kind of things too quickly. And I would encourage those people to challenge themselves more. But, at the end of the day, no one really needs to care what I think about how they play a game anyway. Greg remembers the Scooby-Doo stream. Tuesday says, returned after catching up with everything I care about from the Direct. Right on. Turn down the resolution a touch. Now it's fine. Excellent, excellent. So Rack of Lamb, Greg say it's fine. Running fine on my end, VR says thank you. Thank you for letting me know, everybody. Play a lot of RPGs. Suppose I have bad taste in picking ones with convoluted puzzles that aren't hinted well. Yeah, so, I mean, sometimes, I definitely look for, I definitely break down and ask for help eventually. I ran Deadly Towers a long while ago, even mapped out the first dungeon. Nice. When I figured out the dungeons literally wrapped around infinitely, I broke down and looked up a site with all the maps. It was such a convoluted mess. I decided to stop playing right then and there. Zergling says, "I like the mapping out. I like the mapping out approach. One of our tags is cartography because when I get the opportunity, I definitely like to break out the old pencil and paper and draw a map for a game we play on the stream." It must be because of the books I brought home. They're so old, they're downgrading my internet to dial up. Played that game once in 1988, haven't touched it since. Don't blame me on that one, I finished it before, not fun. Alright, let me grab that Battletoads cartridge. There are people that wanted to see my famous Battletoads cartridge, so I'll grab it real quick. And then I think I'm going to take a short BRB before our next run. How late is it getting? Oh, it's getting kind of late. But I think I would like to make one more run at this. So let me grab the cart real quick. Yeah, that's what the cartography tag is there about. And it's just kind of a joke because, I mean, I've got 10 slots for tags, right? I got to fill them up with something. So yeah, so when I get the opportunity, when it's a game that's like, it's got that right level of exploration and confusion, then yeah, we'll break out some pen and paper. We did pretty detailed maps for we did it, well, it wasn't very detailed. We did a small part of Chrysalis, but the games that have been really heavily mapped were Dr. Franken on the Game Boy, Dr. Franken 1 and 2. I had to map those games out in their entirety. They're fun games, actually. Dr. Franken, if you don't mind a game being jank and frustrating, then Dr. Franken is fun. If you don't mind a game being very not fun, Dr. Franken is fun. But this is the crown jewel of my NES collection is my Battletoads cartridge. As you can see, it's in very, very fine condition. I'd definitely send this one off to be graded if I except I'd never be able to play it again. It's pretty good on the back, right? It's only got like a bunch of gouges and stuff removed from it. But that's it. That's I don't know how the label gets to this shape. And I don't know what this one dash that's written down here means. They couldn't even fit Battletoads like in the space, right? Like the sticker has this like slick space while the rest of the cartridge face is matte. They couldn't even fit Battletoads in the space where the sticker goes. They had to write on the matte area as well. But that's it. It's that's my copy of Battletoads. Unless my house burns down and my insurance company asks, then this was my copy of Stadium Events. Marrow Bones. A Portrait of the Invisible Man. Hang on a moment. Let me rewind here. I think I missed something. Old books. Played that game. Don't blame you. Cartography. Seriously, though, these books are cool. One's a fact book published almost 200 years ago. The other one talks about essays that were old when it was published 100 years ago. Nice. I kind of like old books like that. I don't have a lot of them. Tuesday. I've got a copy of a Lady in the Lake that's from the 1800s. And I've got a book. It's a hardbound collection of issues of a fashion magazine from the mid 1800s. That's really cool. And I like the it's got these full color prints of like all the like ball gowns or whatever from back then, and they're really fascinating. It's really fascinating to flip through. And I think I've got a couple other. I think I've got 4, but I can't think of what the other ones are. But that's it. Just things from the like mid 1800s are about as old as the books that I have go. It's so quiet now without the game on. No one deserves that much suffering, as in Deadly Towers. NES, Metroid, and the Game Boy Metroid 2 will need hand-drawn maps. Yeah, we're gonna do that, Greg. We're gonna do both of those games someday. I just need to be brave enough to try taking them on. Maybe someone was selling it for $1 and wrote that at the card at the garage sale. Probably, cows. Probably. Oh, my skeleton. That's Isaac. Yeah, this is Isaac. He's my co-pilot on the stream. He's not much for playing games. He's more of a watching the game kind of thing. He's looking rather handsome now. I like his hat and suspenders combination he's got going on. He's looking like a right and proper gentleman. He does need his own command. We'll have to work that out. Something clever for It looks like he's laughing at you. I don't blame him, Greg. Marrow Bones is a name from a book you read years ago. A common message you'll see online players put down in Dark Souls is "Don't give up, skeleton." I like that. I like that. All right, let me take a short BRB, my friends. We'll get back in. We'll do one more run of the game, but I do need to step away for just a couple minutes. I'll play you a song, and I'll see you as quickly as I can on the other side here. All right, and we're back. Thank you, my friends, for standing by. That's right. Sparrow makes most of the music that you hear during the break. It's usually going to be a remix put together by Sparrow. You can check out his SoundCloud. He's got everything that you hear here and other things there. He does live DJ sets too every now and then on his Twitch channel. I personally like the placement of great chest ahead messages in Dark Souls, Zergling says. Frownie plays with the messages off, so he misses a lot of those moments, but I agree, Cow says. Yeah, I turned the messages off. I didn't want them spoiling anything. I'm not done with Dark Souls, so that's my other one of my other current ongoing projects on the stream right now are Battletoads, Dark Souls, Minish Cap, and various miscellaneous Contra games. I'm doing first playthroughs of those things right now, so yeah, and we do them all the same. I haven't done any research or received any help for Dark Souls, so I'm pretty proud of the progress I've made there, given its very brutal and confusing nature. Yeah, I had them on for a while. I couldn't figure out how to turn them off. I had a really dumb moment, like in the menu, I overlooked the offline mode, and I thought that it was more complicated. I was trying to turn off the Wi-Fi for my Switch, and it wouldn't let me go into airplane mode, and so I had them on for a couple weeks and just tried to ignore them, but eventually I did turn them off, and thank goodness. I think you're doing an amazing job. Thank you, Cows. I've been doing pretty bad lately. I feel like I haven't made progress in a while, but we're gonna get there. I'll feel happy again soon. I thank you for the boost there. All right, one more run at Dark Souls. One more run at the Dark Souls of the NES, Battletoads, and then we're gonna switch to the Minish Cap. I'm gonna try and be a little bit more focused. I know I went really slowly through our first run, and by all means, let's chat and enjoy ourselves. But I don't want to eat away all the time from the Minish Cap at the same time. Swordmaster is more Dark Souls-esque on the NES. I haven't given Swordmaster a try. I saw someone else playing it on their stream not that long ago. So I have kind of given it a little bit of thought from the bit that I saw. I don't think I have Swordmaster, though. Just picked that one up not too long ago, Sir Rack of Lamb says. How is Air Fortress going, if I may ask, Sir Rack of Lamb? I don't think I've been updated on that one in a little while. I think you said you made it to the very end, but haven't beaten it yet? It's still a stupid game. Swordmaster is not a bad game, slightly broken, but not bad. Victory! Oh, yuck. No! Ah, the other bird messed me up. Oh, I see some glitches creeping in on there on the left. We might be in trouble. So, for anyone who may not know, policy on glitches is if a game starts to glitch out, we continue playing for as long as it remains playable, no matter how ugly it gets. So, you know, and sometimes, you know, it clears up and things are okay, so. Sometimes it becomes intolerably difficult to look at, though. What is Air Fortress? I tried to be... Oop, sorry. Catch up when I am a little less surrounded by enemies. Oh no, I'm on my last health piece. Alright, probably gonna lose this life. Boy, that's a good pattern to be in. Oh, yeah, Air Fortress I haven't played myself yet. Sir Rack of Lamb has challenged me to play it, and I suppose I'm gonna give it a shot, you know, sometime soon. I'd like to try and do it within the next, hopefully by the end of the month. I'd like to give it a try, but Sir Rack of Lamb has been playing it, and, I haven't seen a lot of it, but it looks like it will be it'll be an interesting challenge. I enjoy these games more than Dark Souls, no offense. No offense taken, though. I gotta tell you, you know, like, I like retro games. You know, I like a lot of these retro games more than I like Dark Souls overall, too. I don't dislike Dark Souls. But, you know, if I had to choose to never play the NES again or never play Dark Souls again, I mean, it's no competition there, right? It's not really fair, right? Pitting one game against a whole library, but I am a retro guy at the end of the day. Last level is rough. I made it close to the boss area a few times, but never have enough energy. This glitch is gonna get painful. It's cleared up a little bit for now, but we're never truly safe. Once you see a little bit, you're never truly safe. My son loves Dark Souls. I get it. He streams 2 on Twitch. Oh, right on. Tunnel time. I have a tendency to forget about that one in the middle. No, we were doing so well. Sadness. Toward the end of that part there, where they're all going real fast, like, I don't even know what's going on. Like, my eyes just glaze over. I'm not even seeing the screen. I'm just moving the D-pad and hoping that my rhythm is good. I think I'm into it about 20 hours now, Sir Lamb says. I told Frownie that if he can do the 2 loops in 15 hours, I would give him 5 subs. He's for sure a better gamer than I am. Well, I don't know about that, Sir Lamb, but, you know, thank you. I definitely am not confident that I'm going to rise to the occasion of your challenge, but I do appreciate the offer, and would like to give it a go, since it's a game I did want to play. I did kind of want to play anyway. I think it'll be fun. Is that Towley? Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're well tonight, and Battletoads indeed. It's my never-ending first playthrough. I've been working on it for a couple weeks. We do a couple runs a night, And I'm hoping to someday I'm going to make it all the way to the credits. That's me. I don't know if I've ever jumped into those spikes before. That's a unique death, at least. So, yeah, I'm probably up to run, like, I don't know, 50 at this point. We've been working on it for, about 2.5 weeks. I've done a couple runs almost every night. And so far, I've been able to make it up to stage 10. I've been there a handful of times. I've made it as far as the boss on stage 10, but I haven't figured out how to really fight him yet. And I'm really shaky at stage 10. It's kind of just luck that gets me through right now. But I'm getting more familiar with it, getting better as I go. Yeah, that's the NES version. I actually, I do own the Genesis version and a Game Boy game, though I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's a port of the same game. But I do have those other versions. I haven't played either of those yet either, though. It seemed to me that playing the NES version first was the right way to go. Yeah, it is legendarily hard indeed. It lives up to it. I like a challenging game though. I like the struggle. Some would say I like the suffering. And you know, I like the sort of slowly working my way to victory. Some would say Frownie enjoys suffering. Frownie may be included among the some. Oh yes, I played Ghosts and Goblins. I love it. It's one of my favorite games. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, though, on the Super Nintendo, that is my favorite game. All-time #1 favorite game, hands down. No challengers. Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the SNES is my favorite game. Ghosts and Goblins on the NES, though, wonderful, wonderful. Love it. That was actually the first game I ever played on the stream. That wasn't a first playthrough like this is. Because I've been familiar with that game for quite a few years, but it's always a challenge. I'm not the best at making it through. You know, I probably beat Ghosts and Goblins like, I don't know, 24 times. I still kind of struggle with it. It's fun though, I love it. Still never beat Ghouls and Ghosts without the Game Genie. I've done that one a couple times. The Ghouls and Ghosts on the Genesis. I've done that one a couple times. I did the Genesis version, and I did the there's a port of it on the PlayStation 2. I played it there as well. It's probably my least favorite of the three, but it's by no means bad. It's just the one I'm least familiar with. I only had Nintendo stuff growing up, so I had much less exposure to to things that didn't get released on Nintendo consoles. Nice, Buddha Fingers. Welcome to the stream, my friend. I hope you've been doing well. I don't know if I've seen that particular Arthur before. I like it, though. I don't remember seeing a split one. I'm doing terrible against this guy. Get your head in the game, Frownie. I lost my bat. I've been sick and will likely fall asleep again soon. Get your rest, my friend. I wish you a speedy recovery. I'm really sorry to hear you haven't been feeling well. I was lucky, Tally says. We had them all growing up. Yeah, I did. So I had a Commodore, my dad had a Commodore 64 when I was a kid. So that's the very first way I played games, was Commodore 64. Then for a brief while we had an Atari 2600, though I don't remember it at all. I just remember having it. I don't even remember a single game for it. I remember the console with its wood grain, and I remember those paddle controllers, but I don't remember what games we had. And then we got a NES, and after that it was all Nintendo stuff from then on. And I didn't really know people who had the other stuff either. I had an aunt who had a Genesis. The only game I remember her having was Sonic Spinball. And I had a cousin who had a Game Gear. And then later on, when I was in high school, my best friend, he had PlayStation stuff. He had a PS1, PS2. So I had a little bit of exposure to those, but it's all very limited. This is a bad run. This is a cursed run. This part right here is like the roughest part of the game for me. It's not only is it really hard and I struggle with it, but I don't feel like my performance is in my control in this area. Could forget to continue and start a new run. I sometimes do that. And with any game that's got a countdown timer on the continue screen, I will say I'm real bad about hitting the button before that timer runs out. I instinctively, I feel like the continue screen is like supposed to be my time to stop and take a breath and catch up with the chat and whatnot. And if I don't maintain strong focus, I could easily let that run out. It's okay. Things could turn around. I lost a continue last time, and we still ended up having a decent run overall, so. Good luck with Battletoads and Minish Cap. Thank you, Buddha. Blame it on the glitches. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's not my fault. This isn't a standard version of Battletoads. The game was glitching before, so we know that's evidence that the game is slightly corrupted on this run, and it's become more difficult. It's not my fault. Look at how aggressive you can be with this guy. I've never fought him like this before. Oh my goodness. What a chump. Ah, he heard me. Quick, get him to the wall. Just beat him against the wall. Oh my goodness. That's how we have to do that every time. Wow. That guy's so easy. This part's still terrible. I still don't like this level. This part's still terrible, but that guy's so easy. How did it take me so long to figure that out? What a chump. Rafnir, welcome in. The Battletoads grind is eternal. It sure is. New strat unlocked. He's so easy until he's not. Yep. I thought he was easy before. If I can just bounce him against the wall there, just box him in, that guy's doomed. Could be a worse grind. Another channel you're watching is trying to beat Adventure Island 1 for the NES without continues. We could go for that. We could go for that kind of challenge. I've got Adventure Island. We'll do that one day. Without continues. Oh my goodness. Wait a moment. We'll see. We'll see about the Adventure Island 1cc. I've never actually played it before. I've seen a little bit of it. I think it's like a... You know, it looks like a platformer type game. He's never beat it either. A sane person would beat it before beating a challenge run. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm not known to make my first attempt at a game a challenge run. Definitely not. I try to always do the first run of a game on its default settings. And you know, like I'll use however many continues it gives me and stuff like that. I try not to, like, if there's in the options menu, I try not to ever decrease the difficulty or increase the lives or anything like that. Doesn't always work out. For Alien 3, the first time I beat Alien 3, I needed to turn up my lives for that. And for Turtles in Time, I turned up my lives. I feel bad about that one because I haven't gone back and fixed that. That one's still an ugly mark on my record. You got Alien 3 on lock now. I did for a while there. I'd probably, you know, I'd be really rusty at it if I picked it up now. But we got the one life clear on Alien 3. So, you know, while my first clear was ugly and illegitimate, I overcompensated with the deathless clear to restore my honor. Alien 3 is fun. I really like it now. It had to grow on me, but I think it's a good game. On the Genesis, Alien 3 on the Game Boy has not grown on me. Another hard one is Street Fighter 2010. That game is a challenge mode by default. Yeah, I wanna do that one too. That's a Capcom game. It's hard to go wrong with Capcom on the NES, right? So I'm gonna get to that someday too. I got a long to-do list. I know we all do. We've all got... We've all got tremendous backlogs to take care of. We still have the clip where the timer ran out for the first time. Oh yeah, and the gory results. I don't know why that was so shocking to me. It was an Alien game, but I was legitimately surprised. Doe says, "Gotta go, Frownie. Have a great rest of the stream." Thank you, Doe. Thank you again for the gift subs. That was very kind of you. I appreciate you dropping in and spending some time with us tonight. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, my friend. Back to bed for me as well, Buddha says. Sleep well, Buddha. I hope you recover. We want to see you. We want to see you back up on your feet. Whoa. All right. All right. Focus. Focus. We did lose a credit, but this run has not been complete trash. I discovered something new. And in fact, if we make it through, you know, make it through here. I think after I beat Battletoads, I am going to go for at least a 1cc. I think Deathless Battletoads seems pretty insane. I'm kind of scared to say that I'm going to go for that kind of grind. But I think after I beat the game, I will end up going for the 1cc. I don't think it's going to be that bad, just because, like, I'm playing, like, I'm already replaying the game so much that I'm getting so familiar with the first half of it that I think that, you know, polishing up the end game and going for the 1cc is not really going to be that bad. I think if I can beat it, I can 1cc. Deathless, though. I don't know. There's so much stuff that's a one-hit kill. And I'm not very bright. I say this, but, you know, I don't know what I still haven't seen from the game. There could be stuff coming up that's so terrible that I completely reverse my opinion. But based on what I've seen from the game, I feel like a 1cc is not going to be that much harder than a regular clear. Damageless Battletoads is more insane. Damageless Battletoads, I'm not even tempted to think about. I like a challenge run, but I do have my limits. Of course, I never thought I would do Damageless Castlevania, and we did that, so... I mean, I know Damageless Battletoads would be way harder than Damageless Castlevania. Don't get me, that's not what I'm saying, but I thought I would never do one, and I did it, so... Just because I think now I'll never do it. Who knows? Who knows what the future might hold? Maybe I'll surprise myself again. The Mexican runner has done that? I know the Mexican runner and Mr. Suffer. Like, I know of them by name and reputation, but unfortunately I haven't. Don't really have first-hand experience with a lot of their stuff. I tend to do, like, I do my challenges the same way I do my first playthroughs. So, like, I never learn anything, right? If there's a game that I know I want to do a challenge run of, I don't watch other people play it. Like, I don't look into strats or anything like that. I do them all just as casual as my first playthrough, so I'm stuck to complete the challenge with, again, like, only what I can figure out firsthand. So, if you look up a video of like one of my one of my deathless runs or something, it's not gonna be a pretty video like where someone smoothly runs through the whole game. It's gonna be a video of someone who barely knows what they're doing, just scraping through and narrowly avoiding catastrophe at every moment. But that's what I like about it, is it makes it the run special. It makes it mine. More of a doer than a viewer. Well, I mean, I do spend more time streaming than I do watching streams, but it's definitely not that I don't like to watch them. I certainly do. I tend to like to watch first playthroughs more than anything. Like, games that I know really well and I'm really good at, I really like watching other people do their first playthroughs. Like Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I try to tune in for a first playthrough of that anytime I can. I love watching people go through that game, because I love it. It's kind of hard, though, because, like, a lot of the games that I like are games that are, like, really challenging, and, I feel like more often than not, people kind of tend to break down and start using, like, save states and rewinds and stuff like that. And by all means, if that's how you want to play the game how you want, but for me as a viewer, that makes me sad, because that's, you should be able to play a game however you want, but I should also, you know, only watch the kind of gameplay I want to watch. So it kind of makes me tune out when people do things like that. And with a lot of the games I like, understandably, a lot of first playthroughs kind of tend to resort to those at some point. I'm headed to bed. Have a great night, all, Sir Rack of Lamb says. Have a great night, Sir Rack of Lamb. Thank you again for your company. I hope that you sleep well, and if you're working tomorrow, I hope that goes really smoothly for you. Super cool as it goes to so good, I never do the second run, though. Hrafnir, someday, please, do the second run, because the end of Loop 2 is like the best part of the game. It's like where all the challenge is really hidden. But I am very glad you enjoy it. Next 2 days off, I'm sleeping in, Sir Rack of Lamb says. Excellent. Hopefully you'll have some time to squeeze a stream in there too, and get that Air Fortress knocked out. My blind journey through Ghosts and Goblins is still on YouTube, I think. I even put a death counter up. That took a lot of work. If you would be inclined, Zergling, if you want to send a whisper to me, if you want to whisper me the link to the video. I definitely try to make some time to check it out. Hey, nice. We got some raiders coming in. Just hang out for a brief moment, let everyone come in and get settled. It's good to see you, Young Street. Thank you for the raid. Come on in and tell us about your stream and how is it going tonight? Alone in the Dark. I have never played. Which, if you, if I could ask, what console is that version of Alone in the Dark on? What were you playing it on? The PC version? I think they put an Alone in the Dark on Game Boy Color. I've been tempted to play that one. I don't know if that one ever got released. I don't know if that game really exists, but I thought I saw something about it at one point. There's a PlayStation 1 and a Dreamcast port as well. I think one of my friends had it on Dreamcast. I've never played it. How do you like it? It's on the Switch Game Boy Color. That's one of the ones they put on there today. I had no idea. It's a Resident Evil clone, but it's not bad. I might have to check out that Game Boy Color one on the Switch then. Nintendo might have got me to go. I assume that's part of the expansion set and not part of the free set. They might have got me to go with the expansion if I have to play Alone in the Dark on Game Boy Color. There's the game I've been waiting for. Roy Story, welcome to the stream. And Link, 7777. Thank you for joining us as well. Thank you both for the follow. Very kind of you to come on board with us. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. I had no idea either, so I installed my GOG PC version to celebrate. Game Boy's not... Game Boy Advance is part of the expansion. Oh, alright. Well, maybe they didn't get my money yet. I held off on the... I've held off on the expansion set. Mostly because they've done such a poor job of stocking the N64 controllers that they made. And, you know, if I'm going to play an N64 game, I want to play it with an N64 controller, so... Unless they're gonna stock those and I can get my hands on one, I'm not really interested in the expansion personally. But it's definitely, you know, it definitely is worth the price if you don't already have access to most of the games. Switch Minish Cap. Yeah, we're actually working on the Minish Cap ourselves. This is the second run of Battletoads tonight. For anyone who's come in, I've been working on this game for 2.5 weeks. I've been doing a couple runs every night, I'm trying to beat it for the first time. And so far, PB is stage 10. I can sometimes make it to the boss on stage 10. That's as far as I've been. That's as far as I've seen in the game. But we're doing it legit. I'm playing through it blind. When I get a game over, we restart. So it's you know, it's the long, slow journey to the ending of Battletoads. And if I die at this boss, it may be that much longer and that much slower. Oh. Goodness me. I lost so many lives there. I'm bad. I'm bad at that boss fight. I can put my name in the chat there. Ah. All my Nintendo 64 controller joysticks died, Rafnir says. Yeah, they don't really hang in there. I'm kind of lucky. I've got one that's I bought it as new old stock just a couple years ago, and I haven't used it a whole lot yet. So I've got one that's still in pretty good shape, but all the rest of them they're pretty rough. I think you can actually buy replacement joysticks. I don't know if they're any good. But I think it's you know, it is an option. N64 joysticks, they don't make them like they used to. I hate N64 controllers. They hurt my wrist, Young Street says. I use an N64 controller for all of my Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. I've got an adapter that lets me plug it into the GameCube. You know, if you just ignore the middle prong and just use the two sides, the N64 controller is really good for Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. In my experience, at least. Thank you, Zergling. I'll check that out. It might take me a little while to get to it, but I'll definitely be interested to try and give it a watch. I use a HoriPad Mini these days for N64. I've heard good things about those too. I know that there are good aftermarket options. I'll probably pick something like that up too. So like I said, I've got one right now that's still in good shape, but when it wears out, I'll probably be looking into getting something like that if I can still find if they're still available by the time I need one out there in the world. I own that expensive Hori Game Boy Player SNES controller, worth $300. I've seen those. I do play a lot of Game Boy games. That's a lot of dough to sink on a controller for me, though. I think I have to go with a much cheaper option. All right, we still got to continue. We've still got some life in this run. My first ever videos on YouTube, the audio quality isn't necessarily amazing. No worries. I think we all know the audio struggles. My audio quality is I mean, even now my audio quality is oftentimes quite dubious. Oh, what am I doing? Don't get hit by the lightning. Has there ever been a platformer? Has there ever been a platformer that has swimming, right? Because there's a lot of platformers where you can swim. Like in Mario games, you can usually swim. You know, in this you can swim. It's not like a swimming focused game, but a game that is a run and jump platformer or run and gun that has swimming. Has there ever been one where the swimming section actually controls and feels better than the walking sections? I mean, if it exists, I imagine it's some sort of like terrible trash game where they just accidentally made the swimming good, or they accidentally made the walking so terrible that even swimming is better. But I just wonder if the swimming has ever been better than the walking in a game that has both. Particularly when the walking is supposed to be the focus. It's a complicated question. It's a complicated question. Echo. Oh, I wish there were sections where you could get up out of the water and walk in Echo. Echo the Dolphin was nothing but torture to me. I know some people claim to love that game, but oh boy, that was the worst experience I had on stream, was playing through Echo the Dolphin. It may just be that I'm uniquely terrible at it, though. I will admit that. Yeah, blind runs of the Mega Man games, too. Nice. I would probably check out Mega Man 1. I'm not really familiar with the other ones enough at the point where I'd be comfortable to watch other ones, but Mega Man 1, definitely. The other ones I've only played through one time each. And I haven't even done all of them. I still need to do 3, 7, and 8 from that list. It was alright. I only played it because it was my sister's favorite game. I feel like I got bamboozled. Like, people told me that Echo was a really fun game. Before I played it, people kept telling me that Echo was a really good game, and then when I started playing it and I was having a terrible time, everybody was telling me, "Oh yeah, that game is brutally terrible." I feel like there was a bait and switch that went on. So I struggled with a lot of that game. I never got used to or in any way decent at the controls in that game. And then I made it all the way to the last level. The last level is a 6-minute auto-scroller through a random maze with a boss battle at the end. And if you die at the boss, there's no checkpoint. You have to do the whole thing again, right? And I was stuck on that level for 21 hours. It's a 6-minute level. So I may be uniquely terrible at Echo. Oh, it's super janky. Yeah, I'm not. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to say anything not incredibly mean about Echo. That game tormented me. Like the swimming in Blaster Master. Haven't tried that one yet. When I get to it, hopefully I may be able to make a mental note to hang on to there. Pay special attention to the swimming. Mega Man X1 and 2 are amazing. Never got into the NES entries, Craftner says. Those disappearing blocks are torture. So I played through Mega Man X. I liked Mega Man X. I haven't done any of the other ones. But I think I like the 8-bit games better, personally. I have an overall preference for 8-bit over 16-bit most of the time, I think. You know, with some very big exceptions. Movement on the ground is pretty good, but I felt like I had better control in the water, especially as the little dude. The music on this stage, and there's part of it that reminds me of Paperboy. It's not this part. Or this part. Turn around, duck. This part. Sounds like Paperboy. Yeah, it is the same music as the surfboard level. I usually make that comment on the surfboard level. That's all right? Both the two water levels, both with the same music. That's consistent theming. I can't be upset with them for reusing the song there. I do have a Genesis. I have not played either of those games. I don't even think I've heard of them. Tally. I'm really pretty new to the Genesis. I've only played, you know, maybe a dozen games on it. Probably less than 20. I would say I've probably played less than 20 Genesis games. That went really badly there, really quickly. Yeah, the ducks are unacceptable sometimes, you know? The music is different for this level on the Battletoads soundtrack? Interesting. That's a weird mistake to make it all the way through to the end. I'm on a quest to find people who have. I'm sorry I've let you down, but yeah, I haven't gotten to those. I've done Sonic 1, 2, and 3. I've done Sonic and Knuckles. I've done Sonic 3D Blast. I've done Tasmania and Taz Escape from Mars. I've done Castlevania Bloodlines. I've done Aladdin. I played but not finished Altered Beast. I've done Alien 3. That might be pretty close to it. There's probably another, like, maybe 3 games that I'm not thinking of, but maybe not even that many. Yeah, I haven't done any of the combined carts with Sonic and Knuckles. I just did the plain game. Putting them together, I tried to play through Sonic 3 and Knuckles to put the cartridge together. I tried playing through it, but I haven't made it all the way through yet. So that's still something I've got to do. Castlevania Bloodlines is another one of those games that's on my, like, potential challenge run list. I think it could be cool to play that for a while and try to become good at it. I like Bloodlines quite a bit. Oh yeah, and I did Echo the Dolphin. I left that off the list. We were just talking about it. I was gonna say, I think that Sonic 3D Blast is my least favorite Genesis game, but I forgot. I forgot Echo. 100% Echo is my least favorite Genesis game, and Bloodlines is probably my favorite. Out of what I've played so far. 3D Blast, Sonic 3D Blast was really a nightmare to get through. I can get past those ducks. I have done it before. There's a thing, like, you see this black square up here? There's a green thing there. It looks like a pill. It looks like a green pill. There's another one. I don't know what that is. I don't think it's an item. It's just... Clearly, it's just a part of the scenery, but I wonder, like, why it's there. Maybe it's an artifact because of the green background. Maybe it's nothing. Leave me alone, shark! This shark is too aggressive. Go! Hey! Look at that, I'm making it to stage 10 every time. I'm a master of stage 9 now. Don't let all those deaths fool you. Hello, Dartomic. I hope you're doing well tonight. Thank you for joining us. This game looks really good. Yeah, this you know, it almost looks 16-bit sometimes. The fish just wanted to give me a hug with his teeth. We're gonna have this level mastered in no time. Look at that. I can do the first 2/3 of it. I can't do this part, but... I can do the first 2/3, so... We've only got a little bit more to get good at. This is gonna be ugly. We're really gonna be struggling now, just so you know. Oh ho ho, that punch! That's the finest punch of my career. Unfortunately, I'm just garbage at rocking the D-pad back and forth. No, I missed. I got greedy for more good punches. Victory! We're at the boss. I've got more than a life left. Is it really just as easy as just to run into him repeatedly? I can do that. Nope, I can't. I take it back. He's juggling me. Just don't get landed on. Come on, you were doing good, Frownie. What are you doing? We gotta beat this guy. No, we've gotta beat him. No, stop juggling me. We have to see stage 11. We've come so far. No, it's all falling apart. Victory! Agent Frownie has Toad DNA. That's some progress right there. Hey, thank you for the GGs. Now to show my cousin whose Boss Cow says. Oh my. Hey God, let's just enjoy the music a moment. This already looks horrendous. I've got like a... I don't know, a unicycle. And I'm being chased by a giant hypnotist swirl, it looks like. I see those arrows telling me go, go, go. I like the purple stones in the background. Let's go. Thank you, MK. Hope you're having a great night. You're pretty good at this. Thank you, Dartomic. I've had a bit of practice. I'm going through. We're playing it legit, right? No save states, no warps. If I game over, I have to play the whole game again. So I've had a lot of practice at some of these stages. This was released in June '91. SNES was only a couple months away at the time. Yeah, they'd really, they'd had some time to get really good at the NES hardware, right? I love goldfishes because they're so malicious. I like that. I think I have this in the rare replay collection. I hope you check it out if you do. It's fun. I mean, it's definitely as hard as people say, but I'm having a good time with it. Thank you again, everybody, for the GGs. You tell her just keep him. Stage 11. All right, let's go. Why am I not going? Oh no. I have misunderstood how this works. Oh, I don't like this. I gotta gain some speed. Well, we saw something new. We had a good run, my friends. Sadly, it is over. That seems not good. This seems like not good. I was trying the buttons. I don't think the buttons do anything. I think it's just... I mean, maybe they do. Maybe there's parts where you have to input them, but it looks like it's just read the inputs of the level and time the shifts correctly. It probably goes on for 100 hours. All right. Well, we'll get another shot at it next time, maybe. Instead of getting blown up by a fat rat, you instead got smashed by a glowy orb. Congrats. I'm calling it a victory. This is even more anxiety-inducing than all the previous stages, Gauss says. Great job, though. Next time you'll beat stage 11, I have confidence in you. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not guaranteed to make it back to stage 11 next time. But I'm happy. I'm happy. We celebrate every victory. If I take one step further than I did on my previous run, we celebrate. New PB, one extra step. It is, yeah. We're playing on a real NES. I got a real cart, real console, real CRT box television. I try to use all the old hardware and original stuff as often as I can. You know, I don't have I'm not made of cash. I don't have everything. So, you know, sometimes we got to play a virtual console or re-release a port. Sometimes we might have to emulate something. But I do it very rarely, and I try to be very clear when we're not on original hardware, just because I know a lot of people really like that I use a lot of this stuff. But mostly for the console stuff. For when we do Commodore 64, that's the real like big thing that we emulate for the because I only have the C64 Mini. I don't actually have I have the monitor for the old C64, but I don't have the full computer, and I don't have the skill or the time or the money that it takes to like keep a retro PC alive. So we use the C64 Mini for Commodore games. With the console stuff, it's almost always real carts on real hardware. Yeah, thank you for enjoying Battletoads with me, my friends. We're gonna switch over to the Minish Cap and try and make a little progress in that. We'll play a couple hours of the Minish Cap before we wrap up tonight. We will play more Battletoads tomorrow. It'll be in the first part of the stream. Tomorrow night is Battletoads and Dark Souls. Battletoads first. We'll start up around 11 p.m. Central Time. Give or take about a half an hour there. 11's the target, but I could show up anywhere in that sort of 10:30 to 11:30 window. And yeah, Battletoads and Dark Souls tomorrow. Minish Cap now. So just stand by if you want to join me for that, my friends. Thank you for enjoying Battletoads with me. I'm happy we got to celebrate a victory tonight. Hopefully there's more to come.